Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Frildren, and as you can see, I am back in Star Trek Online. This will be the final part to the 16th anniversary event, and today I'll be going over the prize ship from it. But first, I want to talk a little bit about my internet problems. I would have had this video out maybe a couple of days ago, but again, you know, if you've seen some of my videos, I talk a lot about this a lot. I've been having a lot of issues with my internet company being just really bad at their jobs. I'm not gonna say who they are, but I don't really have any options right now for like getting a different internet provider. There is another one that's supposed to be coming to my town, but they're taking their time. It's been like over 5 years. They're supposed to be doing Ethernet, and I just don't know why they're taking so much time getting it done. Might not be enough people are signed up for it. I don't know. But enough of that. Let's get into the video itself. So the event itself is still going on, obviously. You have until the 8th, or the 18th, I'm sorry, the 18th of March. So by the time this video comes out, it'll be like 6 and some odd hours, 6 days, some odd hours, whatever. So you still have time to do it. If you haven't started yet, unfortunately, that means you're going to have to buy it out if you want the ship. You can't see it right here because I've already completed it, but it starts out at 6,000 Zen. The more you do it, it takes off more. I believe if you get about halfway through, or like do the dailies, get halfway through the dailies. So say, well, with this one, you need 40 of them. Say you had 20 of them done, it'll be half of the normal price, so it'll be down to 3,000. So I recommend, if you're gonna buy it out, you know, definitely try to get as many days done as you can before you have to buy it. So but yeah, let's go over the reward itself. Obviously, you can see it right here. This is a very, very good ship. In my opinion, I've been playing with it a little bit when I can. But yeah, I like the fact that this is one of those ones where it looks like it's got a face, kind of like a robot face. Get the eyes, the mouth, and this one actually has like what looks like a nose on it too. So, but yeah, this is the very heavily Juggernaut inspired Empersa Miracle Worker Alliance Juggernaut Tier 6. I'm not gonna bore you with all this stuff in here. You know, if you want to read it, you can read it yourself. Just pause it, or if you're getting the ship yourself, you can look at it. But yeah, this is a Miracle Worker ship, so it comes with the extra Miracle Worker slot. It's heavily based on Juggernaut design, because you know they're part of the Alliance too. So now I don't have all the Alliance ships. I've got the very first one, and I got the one from last year, and then this one. So unfortunately, I'm missing out on a couple of them. So yeah, now one of the things that makes this also, you know, heavily Juggernaut designed is not just the look of it, but the fact that it has wingmates. I'll go over those a bit. I wish there was more information I can give you on those, because unfortunately there's not enough, like there's no UI or proper UI for it to give you stats and stuff other than its health and maybe the current buffs it has while you're in combat. So yeah, I'll go over that the best I can. Now this is a Juggernaut, so it's going to be very slow, very heavy ship. It's got decent hull modifier 1.4, shield modifiers decent 1.3, 5 forward 3 aft for weapons, which is pretty common for big ships anymore. I mean, sometimes they're 4-4, but a lot of ships nowadays are 5 forward 3 aft, or like 5 forward 2 aft, depending on what type of ship it is. So yeah, 3 device slots. I'll go over the bridge officer seating more when I'm in space, and I'm gonna do like the full breakdown, because I will have to go into space so you can actually see proper numbers. It's got 5 tactical slots for engineering, 2 science, and then it's got that universal, making it so when you fully upgrade this, it'll have 2 more universals, making it have a total of 14 slots total, which is pretty nice. That's one of the main reasons why I like Miracle Worker ships, because you get the extra slot, just in case there's a console you want. that, or like say you have two consoles that you're kind of like, oh, do I want this one or do I want that one? Well, on Miracle Worker, that makes it a little bit easier to choose because you get that extra slot. Turn rate and impulse modifier and the inertia, not that great. I do have a console on that helps me with my turn rate, so it won't be that bad. Now it also comes with, for power settings, plus 10 to weapons, engineering, and auxiliary, which isn't all that bad. Having weapons is definitely, usually always good to have. Engines is decent because you'll go faster. Auxiliary, certain builds definitely need auxiliary power, so that's good to have that. We have the universal console, the ionized anti-proton field projector. I'll let you know my thoughts on that one when I mess around with that one. Of course, we have the Alliance cloaking device, which, it's not too bad. I don't mind having cloaks. I don't really use them often, but when I have them, I'll use them. Now, this also has the Empersa Array Anti-Proton Overcharged Lance. Now, this is built into their ship. It's part of it, so it's not a console or anything. You can't go putting it on any other ships. You can't use dual cannons. I don't know why you would. It's a big ship. Now, another thing about this, since it's a Miracle Worker ship, it has the innovation abilities. Let me scroll back up here. So with the innovation abilities, once you've used 3 different, or well, sometimes it'll be 3 different, sometimes it'll be 3 the same. It'll be 2 the same, 1 different. Bridge officer abilities, you get one of these bonuses here. Some of them aren't too bad. I do like the whole one. I do like the shield one. Bonus to all subsystems is also good. The recharge speed for bridge officers and captain abilities, that can definitely come in handy. The one that's really not too great is the photonic copy of your ship that uses ramming speed. It does do some damage to the enemy ship when it hits it, but it's not that much. So, but yeah, most of this, the rest of the stuff I'll be going over in space. Down here we get the ship mastery package, Juggernaut, decent crit chance, crit severity, whole regeneration, and then plus all damage. Those are all good ones to have. And then we have the space trait, the hyper generative repair matrix. I'll be going over that. So let's do one thing here while I'm on ground. Before I go to space, I'm going to go over to the ship customizer. Now, there's not a lot to do with this ship customizing wise, so we'll go over that and I'll be right back. All right, so this is the ship as is, out of the box. It's not bad. I know that in the preview for the ship, when you're, before you claim it or in the claiming area, in the event tab, there was a bit of an issue with like the lighting on here. I believe it was more, was it this? I think it might have been this one. This one had like a little bit of a problem, but within these, it had like problems with, it had like too much color. Like it was like a rainbow, and it wasn't supposed to be like that. It was like triangle shaped rainbows. But it seems they fixed that. But yeah, you can definitely see the, if you've seen the Juggernaut ships or messed around with them, you can see the inspiration from there. The way that the nacelles are out here like this, and the shape of this is a bit like Juggernaut. The overall shape is Juggernaut, so these little pods down here and stuff. So now there's not much you can do with this, like I said, for modifying it or visually wise. Now it comes with Starship, the base hole for it, so, or not hole, but interior. So there's nothing new. You think there would be like an Alliance variant of the bridge, at least, maybe, I don't know. And this one being a Juggernaut inspired, maybe it'd have like some Juggernaut features or something, but it doesn't. You can't change the windows or the material type, so it's kind of sucky there. What you can do is you can change like these colors. You do whatever you want. And then we go in here, you can actually change the pattern. So a lot of these patterns are pretty good. Let's go with like that one right there. So you got a little bit of a change in the way some of these patterns look. And you can do that with like, all the pieces if you want. I'm just gonna do like some random stuff here. And so I've gotten everything kind of random. Definitely a lot you can do. You can't do like what my current main ship has one of these. I forget what it's called, but it's under the hull option. It's at the bottom, I think. And you can like basically completely cover the ship in one color if you wanted to. So unfortunately you can't do that with this, but yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and back out of here and I'll be up in space. All right, so here we can get kind of an idea of the size of the ship. I believe this is a Lexington. It might be like a mirror version, I think. Yeah, the Terran Lexington, which is a decent sized ship. Oh, actually, the ship that this is most resembles is kind of most resembles is this Juggernaut ship right underneath me. I didn't see it's about the same size, roughly. Let me see here. Let me get a better view here. There we go. So it's about the same size. The Juggernaut one might be a little bit thicker in spots. But yeah, it's generally the same vibe. And yeah, it's I do like the look of it. It's really good design. I do love the Juggernaut ships. Especially some of the older ones like the one underneath me. Here, actually, I'll go in, not there. I don't want to hit that. I want to hit that one. If I go into ships and then the Juggernaut, the one underneath me was it this one right here, which isn't too bad of a ship. It's got a decent hull. It's not a miracle worker, so it doesn't have the extra slot. The one I really love though is this one. I use this one on my Gamma recruit, and this one again, it's not a miracle worker, but it's got a hangar bay. Plus, it has the wing mates like what this new ship has. So it kind of trades miracle worker slot for 2 hangar bays. So it's kind of one of those figuring out what you want things when you're figuring out what ships you want and stuff. Plus, also, again, these have that almost a face look to them. So, all right, so let's go into the stats here and go over my build a little bit and go over the console that comes with this, the traits, or well, the starship trait. So, obviously, what I got right now is not what it comes with. It's kind of a work in progress for a build. But it's basically what I would have in general, but also I would upgrade this because as you see, I do not have it upgraded yet. So we'd have 2 more slots. And some of the stuff I might take out if I were to fully build this out, but it's just kind of a placeholder for now. I do have 2 of the older ones in here, mainly because this one gives anti-proton damage, and this one will actually, I believe it helps out my the pets, but I'm not 100% certain. I know this one does. It'll actually pop up on them. I can't show you right now. I'll have to be in combat in order to show you that because I can't click on these. They're actually not here right now. For some reason, the Juggernaut ones, I've noticed that they'll show up in social spaces in space, but not for this one. So I don't know. It's weird. But yeah. But yeah, this one does work. I do recommend it on most pet builds, and I was shocked this actually works. So, because I guess technically they are hangar pets, but they're not. They're like called in, but I believe this one also works for it. And this is from the last year's, I believe. So, yeah, if you don't have that one, you will not be able to get it. At least not now. Maybe in the future. This one is from the first ship. And it actually has a much nicer ability. I do like it over the new console from this current ship, which is right here. I'm gonna go into more details. So, it comes with a passive that whenever you use a healing ability, you get a plus 5% heal critical chance, plus 25% critical severity, and then you have a plus 142.5 star ship. Hull restoration improves hull healing, which is pretty good, and it's definitely needed for this console for the activated ability, because basically it affects up to 10 foes max in a 5-kilometer sphere, 2-minute recharge time. So while it's activated in a 5-kilometer radius from 909.7 to 4,548.3 anti-proton damage per second, 2 foes, 10 max. Now here's the kicker. It also does damage to yourself. The low point is 454.8 up to 9,096.6. That's quite a bit of damage to yourself, and it penetrates 100% shield penetration. You can resist half of this as long as you got a anti-proton resistance rating. And it scales with your max hull. So the numbers you're seeing right now is because of how much hull I have. And then also has basically a mini version of it that attaches to your allies, maximum of 5. This will work on your hangar pets and the wingmates. So, but yeah, I'll show that off in a bit. Okay, so yeah, and also we have the lance. This is part of the ship. Can't do it, take it off of it. This I think is actually way better than the console itself, because this one in a 90-degree arc to self. Now this part is the bad part, but it's not terrible compared to the other one because the numbers don't seem to add up. So this is 45,483.1 anti-proton damage to yourself, which doesn't really actually seem to do that much damage to myself. I don't know. You'll see it when I activate it. But to target, and this scales with your hull, just like the console does. Right now it says 8,800 and 882,026.63 anti-proton damage. I do have abilities that will increase my hull, and I can get that up to over 1 million. I have seen people getting it up to like 30 some odd million. I don't know how. So this can do a lot of damage. Yeah, I'll show that off in combat. But yeah, here's the this is the one from the first ship, and then this one's the one from last year. So I might show you those. I mean, they're not necessary because they're not part of this ship. They're just some of the old Alliance ships. But I'll probably show you this one because I do like this one better than I do like the new console. Maybe this one because it does have to deal with the wingmates. So hopefully that shows the proc on that when I activate it. But yeah, other than that, most of the stuff I got on here is just to add damage. You got the anti-protons consoles here. These will also increase your damage for your pets, both hangar pets and the wingmates. Let's see, what else do I got here? This is the other part of this. Gives me some resistance ratings, which is I need. I don't have anything else. Now, this one is, depending on if you have it or not. I really like this because it does plus 47.3 anti-proton damage, or adds that to your max damage, which is quite a lot. Now, these aren't fully upgraded, but I do have in my inventory some phaser ones, and these max out at plus 39.4%. So that capping out at 47.3 is a big deal. That's one console doing normal plus damage from one of these maxed out. So if you have that, I do recommend getting that for this if you do plan on keeping this in the anti-proton build. The main reason why I say that is because keeping this anti-proton build would be a good idea, is because again, your wingmates do anti-proton damage, and if they're like hangar pets, increased anti-proton damage consoles will increase their damage. So, as well as I believe consoles that increase my hull will increase theirs. I can't remember if that one works or not. So, but then I got this right here just for some turn rate, mainly flight speed. It is a big ship and it is slow. Fortunately, I was able to get most of this stuff from one of my alt characters. So all this stuff is like bound to account. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go into battle. Let's see, I'll probably go to, I think the best one I can show off some of this is Starbase 345 or whatever it's called, or 234. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm here at Starbase 234. This is a battle simulation. Basically, you have to go out after like 3 ships, and then there's another ship that's got hangar pets, and then you have to go after Starbase itself. But first, I'm gonna go over a couple things. I forgot to go over the starship trait and the layout of the bridge officers. So down here, this is the trait, hyper generative repair matrix. While you're under 100% hull, using a hull healing ability will give you a stacking buff of 1% of your current max hull capacity for 60 seconds. New stacks will refresh the duration, max 25. So you get up to 25% of your hull, or like max capacity. So that's pretty good. So I'll try to show that off when I get low on health. And the stations themselves. All right, so we got a Commander Tactical Miracle Worker, which is pretty nice to have. I always like having this so I can get like maybe like either a decent, one of these or an attack pattern. Is always good to have. We have a Lieutenant Commander Engineering Temporal Ops Station. It's all right, not bad. We have a Lieutenant Science Station, but we also have 2 universals. The first one here being, well, we'll go in this order. This one being a Ensign Universal. So if you need anything extra that you don't have down here in these ones, you get at least a low rank one. But then we have this one here, Lieutenant Commander Universal Station. I always like having a decent gravity well, so I chose Science. Plus I got some healing. As you can see, I went with the shields down here, so I went the healing there. I always want to double up on some stuff. So yeah, it's not too bad of a seating, and the trait itself I do like. Most of the other traits on here are just kind of standard traits that you would get. Some of these are like buffing me a little bit, I guess. Some are for damage, and I think some's for like survivability and stuff. This actually gives me more hit points and shield capacity based on my auxiliary, and that will help me do damage with these abilities because they do scale with your max hull. So, but the only thing that really is giving me a lot more damage, I guess they nerfed it, is Twinkling Lights. Even though it's meant for doing a rainbow build, it still works with a single type, where you do minus 12 all damage resistance rating to an enemy target that you're firing upon. Now, one thing, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I suppose. I guess it would matter if, say, your pets do a different type of damage than you do. Because while you can activate it yourself by hitting the enemy with that energy type, your pets can't activate it, but they can take advantage of it because any ship, your ship, ally ship, pets, they're doing the damage that you have them weak against. If they do that type of damage, they can take advantage of it and do more damage to the enemy because of it. They just can't activate it. So if you're trying to do like some sort of weird omni build or whatever, say you're doing one type and your pets and these are doing a different type of damage, they cannot activate it or participate in doing the extra damage. So, but it is easily gotten from the winter event, so I do recommend picking that up if you can. But yeah, let's go ahead. First, what I'm going to do, actually, let's show off, because I'm here now and I can click on this. All right, you can see their hull, which actually isn't too bad. 69,297. That is more than a lot of small ships, like escorts or like raiders and stuff. I mean, yeah, sure, you can get them up pretty high, but this is like as a base. So, and they do look like, I don't have this one. This is one of the ones I missed because I wasn't playing during the time this one came out, so I missed it. But these look like the tactical ship. Actually, I believe you can actually buy it right now. Is it in Muds Market? Where is it? Yeah, right here. Alliance Rex Pilot Escort. So yeah, they're based on this, I believe. I mean, they look like it anyways. So, what does this have for base hull? 49,500. So, stacking stuff that increases your hull, you could probably definitely get it over what these current pet ones have. So, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to activate probably this console right here, the new console, and I'll show you what it does, and I'll give you kind of an idea on why I don't really like it that much. So I'm going to go ahead and enter combat. We got these 3 right here, and there's one behind it we're going against. All right, so it's activated. Now I'm doing damage to the enemy, doing the anti-proton damage. Click on them. There we go. Doesn't really show the thing doing, but you can see I'm taking a lot of damage, and so I can heal. It's not really doing much, the healing. So you definitely will be firing while you're doing this. I mean, it seems like my ship's weapons themselves do more damage, and they're not fully upgraded. So now the wingmates, they can do a big attack like that. I'll show that better when I get to the station itself. Now the station has, what is it? Show me. Over 1 million health. So that's pretty good. As you know, it's quite a bit. Plus it's got a lot of resistances. So let's go ahead and have them attack it first. Show that ability. Actually move around here so I don't take a lot of damage. See, they're not doing a lot of damage, but if you get your damage boosted, they'll do a lot more. One got destroyed. The starbase does do a lot of damage, so yeah, here's that let me show it here. This is from that console I have. So let me actually activate this ability from last year's console. Click on one of them. I believe that's it right there. So yeah, they do get a lot of bonuses, a lot of damage and resistance rating, I think. Yeah. I'm taking some damage. So yeah, let me go ahead and do the final ability here. Actually, let's do this one first. But no, I'll show this off somewhere else. I'm going to do this one, the one that comes with the ship itself. And you can see it did a lot of damage. Oh, but then I took a lot of damage. So you do take, and I died. It's one of the drawbacks. If you're at full health, it wouldn't have been so bad, but I basically just killed myself there. So I'll respawn. All right, so yeah, like I said, you can't hurt yourself with it, but if you max yourself out on damage, you can actually do a lot more. Again, I survived that because, you know, I wasn't so low on health. I guess I can show this one too. Basically, you get a bit of a shield, and then you click it again, and you do a decent amount of damage to multiple enemies. It's just one this time, so let me go ahead and take this one out. Don't have a lot of time left. Hopefully I can get it. Just gravity well. There we go. All right, so the ship itself is not a bad ship. It does a lot of damage when you have it built out right. One of the things I would recommend is having a lot of hull. As you see, I'm under 100,000. If I had over 100,000, it would probably be a little bit better, because this does take away at your health quite a lot. So I do recommend having a lot of health and a lot of heals. And probably have better skills, because I don't have a lot in healing. If I had more in healing, it probably wouldn't be so bad. Was it this one? So yeah, in combat healing, you know, this would improve that. So yeah, more hull restoration, more hull in general, so more hull capacity. So you probably want to build this out as a tank, and then do like a lot of the like I would say like this. I avoid projectile weapons with this, because the big ship turning's not that great. So focus on energy weapons, you know, doing some damage and stuff, field and hull penetration. I believe these probably help the wingmates. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe they do. So you know, one of the wiki might have more information. I don't know. Somebody probably knows. They've probably like gotten into the game code and figured it out. I don't know. But yeah, you know, would I recommend this ship for the console? Probably not, unless you are very tanky. The ability itself, it could do with a bit of work, because the fact that you're doing more damage to yourself than you are the enemies doesn't sound right. So the fact that you do get a copy of it that goes on your allies, and it doesn't hurt your allies, is nice. But again, you know, the first part kind of is a big cost. This right here isn't bad. Just make sure you're at decent health when you're using it, because you can basically one-shot yourself almost if you're low on health. So I guess it wouldn't be one-shotting, it'd be like, you know, myself, then taking yourself out. But the damage it does is pretty good. And if you boost your hull capacity, it can do a lot more damage. So yeah. Would I recommend the ship? Yes. You know, no matter what, you know, even if you don't want the console, I would recommend the ship, because it is a miracle worker ship. It's a tanky ship. It can be built out to be a really decent tank or a heavy DPS ship. But yeah, in summary, yeah, definitely a good ship. I do recommend it. So if you haven't gotten it yet, you're not sure if you wanted it yet, you know, hopefully this will help you make up your mind. Leaving comments, you know, if this helped you out or not. And also leave a like, comment, and all that good stuff down below. And I will see you next time. Bye.